Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
What is up, all you native fish keeping fish tank funkadelics out there? You watch Aqua Float with me, J.D. Freak. So check it. By now everybody knows I'm in Florida. I keep saying it. I just moved to Florida. And the reason why I keep saying it is because it's a little bit of an exciting time in that I'm coming, you know, into a whole new realm of fish keeping. You know, keeping fish outside, native fish, so on and so forth. And while I say that, hold up. But first, if you're new to this channel, go ahead, boom, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you like what you see, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. But back to why we're here. So yeah, so recently me and a couple of friends of mine, Lucky Schmug, Jose, thank you for setting it up. Jose is someone I just met. He just set up the whole trip with Lucky Schmug and everything like that. But we went on a native collecting trip, and I get to why I'm talking about this. There's a couple of native fish out here that I really want to get my hands on. Pygmy sunfish, darterfish. So we went out trying to collect. It was unsuccessful on one hand it was unsuccessful in that we couldn't catch cold. We caught, I think, like 6 little minnows or something like that. They ended up going back. And it was like 6 of us. So what do 6 fish keepers do when they fail at catching fish by themselves? You go to a local fish store. So, you know, the success was that we had a lot of fun and we learned some things that we might want to do on the next time. So I really foresee that happening again, because like I said, didn't catch nothing, but everybody there was so cool, had a lot of fun. Yeah, so hopefully that gets me do it. But getting back to the native fish, one of the most readily available native fish out here in Florida is the Florida flatfish. I got 11 of them. I cheated. I got them at the local fish store. Couldn't help it. They were there. I wanted to get started, so I did it. These are a cool little fish. They're actually in the killie family. They only get to about 2.5 inches from what I understand. And I actually love them. They never showed up on my radar until recently. And I have them right there in that tank. Boop, right there. They're beautiful fish. Colors popping. I really like their body shape. They have a very distinct body shape, and they look like they actually should be bigger fish, but they're not. You know what I mean? They got a real robust, beefy, you know, body shape. But they're little guys, and they actually have a lot of personality in that the males have the majority of the color. The females still have good color, with a little dot on the back of their dorsal fin, so you know that you can tell which is the male and female. The males are territorial. I did put them. I had them in separate enclosures recently just to see how they act. When they're all together, I wouldn't call them a schooling fish, definitely a shoaling fish, in that they like to be around each other. But when they're kept, you know, separate or individual, then they're kind of shy. In this tank, I had 2 of them hid. Put the rest of them in there, they all came out. So I guess if you had these, dither fish would be something that you want to think about. I didn't have them too long before they started spawning. So I didn't get no fry out of it because the tank I had them in, there was so many other inhabitants. What I did a little research, and what I found out is the males are actually, you know, in the wild, what they do is they'll spawn, they'll either dig out a little pit, you know, like bass or sunfish or something like that, and then they'll just guard them, you know, and do that. But the males can be territorial, because even when the eggs or the fry were gone, this one male that just stood over this little patch of Java moss, and he was pretty territorial, you know. So if you're gonna keep multiples where you're gonna have males and females, you might want to keep a big enough tank where keep them in a big enough tank where they can't, you know, hurt nobody. What else can I say about these guys? They seem to eat about anything. They're really good at eating algae. So if you have algae problems, you know, and you have a community tank, nothing too small that can fit in their mouths, you might want to think about these guys. Really, they're beautiful fish, and they, you know, I have to put algae wafers in there and they kill it. I've heard that they actually will eat hair algae and filament algae. So, you know, if you have an algae issue, hair algae, filament algae, you know, that little slimy green, you might want to think about getting some Florida flatfish. Native to Florida, they call them the flagfish because apparently somebody seems to think that they look like the flag. I don't know what flag you're looking at, but my flag got red and white stripes. This fish, the males, will have red lines with a turquoise, greenish, aquamarine, blue-green scales in between them. So it's I don't know. Flagfish, I don't know, but definitely that's what they call. So that's what we're rocking with. Awesome little fish. Definitely suggest you look into them. But I would keep them in a group and in a big enough tank that if they do become territorial, they can, you know, have their own space. Eat anything, stay small, and they're native. This is what I love about them. They're native to America. They're native to where I live. So often everybody in the, oh, I got this exotic from Asia and South America and Africa. Those are the only 3 places people really get fish from, but we got a lot of neat fish right here in the United States, North America, that a lot of people don't, celebrate. So I'm gonna go ahead and dedicate a tank, outdoor tank, to the native fish. I'm gonna celebrate fish that we have right here every day that we just overlook. That we drive past ponds and rivers and lakes on the interstate. We never think of how beautiful the fish are in there. We're always thinking about how beautiful the fish are in some other place. So I'm gonna go ahead and dedicate a tank, outside tank. Watch that, it'll be coming to native North American fish, preferably Florida fish. So stay tuned for that. Like always, take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of your fish.